talks about credit cards. Credit cards are a very popular consumer item that allows a person to buy an item now and pay for it later. Using a credit card is an example of an open-end installment loan or revolving credit. There is no fixed amount borrowed and there is no fixed payment. Credit cards do require the borrower to pay a minimum payment based upon the interest rate and the unpaid balance at the end of the billing cycle, which is usually monthly. If a customer makes a purchase with a credit card and pays the entire balance on the credit card at the end of the billing cycle, then no interest is charged. If the balance is not paid, then interest will be charged on the average daily balance in the next billing cycle. If a customer takes out a cash using a credit card called a cash advance, then the customer must pay the interest starting from the day the cash advance occurred until it is repaid. The interest rate on a credit card is quite a bit higher than other types of loans, and the interest rate on cash advance is even higher. On most credit cards, the simple interest formula I equals PRT is used to calculate the interest, where R is the monthly interest rate converted to a decimal. T is 1 month. The principal P is the average day balance, which is found by adding the unpaid balance for each day and dividing the result by the number of days in the billing period. So, what we do to find the average daily balance, we take the sum of the unpaid balances for each day in the billing cycle and divide by the number of days in the billing cycle. Our procedure for finding the average daily balance is we first make a table. In column 1, show the beginning date of the billing cycle followed by each transaction and transaction date. In the second column, put the unpaid balance for each date. Create a third column showing the number of days each unpaid balance. Create a fourth column calculating the product of the unpaid balance and number of days of each unpaid balance. Then we find the sum of the fourth column and divide the result by the number of days in the billing period, which is going to be the sum of the third column, to get the average daily balance. So with that in mind, let's go to our workbook and let's take a look at problem number 1. We're on page 129. So a credit card calculates the interest using the average daily balance method. The monthly rate is 1.6% of the average daily balance. Below is a list of transactions occurred during the month of July. So you want to make sure you have your calculator handy when we do this. So this is the previous balance. So that would be the balance on July 1st. Then they make a payment of $300 on July 7th. There is charge to restaurant on July 8th. Video games on July 11th. Groceries July 17th. And cell phone on July 25th. The July 31st is the end of the billing cycle. And the payment due date is August 15th. So starting on July 1st, our unpaid balance is $5,467.26. So that's what we're going to put here. Now on July 7th, they made a payment of $300, so we're just going to subtract that off. So that gives us $5,167.26. And then on July 8th, there was a restaurant charge of $159.45. So that's going to be added to our balance. So now the balance on July 8th is $5,326.71. We have a charge for video games for $186.74. So again, we add that. So it'd be $5,513.45. On July 17th, there's a charge for grocery for $121.41. So that gives us $5,634.86. And then finally, on July 25th, there is a cell phone charge of $352.64. Now the next column, we got to figure the number of days at each unpaid balance. So this first one goes from July 1st to July 7th. So 7 minus 1 would be 6 days. This one goes from July 7th to July 8th. So notice I'm always taking the next day minus the previous day. And then this goes from July 8th to July 11th. And then this goes from July 11th to the 17th. And then this goes from the 17th to the 25th. Now here's where it's tricky at the end. You might think this is all the way till July 31st. So you'd use 31. But we're still in the old billing cycle. We don't get to the next billing cycle until August 1st. So we have to add an extra day here. So last day of the month plus 1. So we're going to take 32 minus 25, and that gives us 7. Now if we did this correctly, I should be able to add these numbers up, and it should be equal to the number of days in the month. So let's just verify that. 6 plus 1 plus 3 plus 6 plus 8 plus 7. So that's my total, 31. So now we've got to calculate the product of these two numbers. So we have to take $5,467.26 and we're going to multiply that by 6. On the second one, we'll take $5,167.26. That one's easy, you just have to multiply by 1. And then $5,326.71 times 3. $5,513.45 times 6. $5,634.86 times 8. And then $5,987.50 times 7. So let's go ahead and do that multiplication. Told you we're going to give our calculator a workout here in this section. So multiply that by 6. When we multiply that by 1, and we're going to take $5,326.71, multiply that by 3. And then 5513.45 times 6. And then $5,634.86 times 8. And then finally $5,987.50 times 7. So now we need to total all these up. Well, I don't want to redo all those calculations, so I'm going to go highlight. Gotta go up a little bit. That was the first one. Enter. Plus. The second one we didn't have in the calculator. Plus. Now I'll go grab the third one, which is 15,000 and so forth. I'll grab the fourth one here. I like doing this way there's no mistake in terms of re-entering the numbers. Alright, so we've got all the numbers here. Hit enter, and that would be then our total. So to find the average daily balance, we're going to take the total and we're going to divide by the number of days. So we're going to divide our answer here by 31. And we'll go ahead and round this off. So that'd be $5,613.65. Now keep in mind that the average daily balance is not the unpaid balance. This number right here, that's the unpaid balance. What we do is we use the average daily balance to calculate the interest. And back at the top of the problem, they told us that our monthly interest rate is 1.6% of the average daily balance. So we're going to take 0.016 times this number. So it'd be $89.82 in interest. So you might think we would add that to the average daily balance, but that's not our unpaid balance. Our unpaid balance is this figure here. So the balance due would be that $5,987.50, and then we would add the interest. That will give us $6,077.32. Now the last part here says the card requires a $12 minimum payment if the balance due is less than $384. Otherwise, the minimum payment is 1/32 of the unpaid balance. And then calculate the minimum payment by August 15th, or sorry, calculate the minimum payment due by August 15th. So we're going to divide that number by 32. So it gives $189.92. Now in reality, and they also do this sometimes in the book, they're going to have you round up to the nearest dollar. So when you round this up to the nearest dollar, that would be $190. By the way, in the problem in MyLabs Plus, if they do not give you this fraction of the payment, you want to assume that they're using 1/32 if it's not given. So if they don't give you this in the problem, you want to assume you're using 1/36 unless otherwise stated. So if you get to a problem, they just talk about minimum payment, but they don't give you the fraction, just assume it's 1/32.